Hi guys. This is your daily energy reading and horoscope for May 30th. And thank you for coming to Annette's Astrology Corner. Although I pretty much am going to guarantee you after today, you're going to be like, I don't want to talk to her anymore or listen to her because she's a Debbie Downer. Like, honest to God, why does this day even need to, like, I just want to stay in bed. Like, stay home and don't engage in anything on Saturday. It's just such a hot mess of a day. You and I need to have a little powwow about what's going to go down today, because it's so intense. Like, okay, first of all, the moon's in Scorpio. That right there is intense. Anytime the moon goes into Scorpio, you know that it's going to be dealing with things that are in the deepest parts of yourself. Okay? When your moon is in Scorpio, you are sensitive. You're intense. Yes, a moon in Scorpio can be smoldering and sexy, and the intensity could go that way, or it could just be flat intense. Like if there's been issues going on that you've been hiding, a moon in Scorpio at some point is going to unleash its stinger, and today is that day. Is that day for sure. I hate talking about this day. I don't even want to talk about it because I love to avoid bad news and bad things, and this day is just bad. Whew. Okay, so let's talk. Your sun is going to be in Gemini, okay, and it's of course still like in opposition with Saturn, nothing new, right? So we can deal with that energy. We've been dealing with it. We've been working with it. So that's nothing new, right? So your sun, your core, is in your mind right now. It's in your higher thinking and in your lower thinking. So all areas of your mind is activated today. It is going to be quincunxing the moon in Scorpio. Now, a quincunx is an odd angle. It is an opposition. It's not an opposition where there's energies that are like this, right? That are trying to meet in the middle, and they're trying to be here. So there's like a compromise that can be had to make this energies meet here. There's no compromising when there's a quincunx. It is two people standing their ground and standing in opposition. Okay, that's the way energy is. So it is your moon, your emotional well-being. Your sun wants to feel good. It wants to go out and play. It wants to just look at all sides and say, okay, I don't like that version of me, so let's go be this version of me. Let's create an illusion of like who I am, through saying, creating like a different persona for that day or for that night or for that person or whatever. Like that's Gemini energy. It can adapt easily to whatever it wants to be. It's like a shapeshifter. Whenever I think of Gemini energy in the sun, I think of them like shapeshifters. They're like on the X-Men, the blue girl, which is so hot. She can just, anything she wants to be, she can just change into it. You can't do that because your moon in Scorpio is going to say, like, I know you think that you've got that whole, like, working that out, but guess what? You don't, because this is who you really are, and let's just be real about it. Your emotional energy is not going to go along with the Gemini energy. It's not going to go along and want to be a flake. It wants to be steady. It wants to control movement. It wants to control direction. It wants to control how you manifest yourself, right? But if you are in all this Gemini moon, Gemini sun thing, the Gemini sun doesn't want to be controlled. It doesn't want to be, it feels trapped. It feels honed into that energy. It doesn't like that. So your core and your emotional well-being are going to be torn between, I want control of my situation. I want to be secure. I want to be happy. Being very intense, right? And just with this lighthearted, go with the flow, duality energy that just doesn't want to be accountable to anything. And so, you know what? You're going to want to go out and you're going to want to go out and you're going to want to get the most out of it, but you can't. Emotionally, something ties you, pulls you back, makes you think too much. And so there's an inner turmoil within yourself that's going to be hardcore today. It's a quincunx. So there's no there's no making this energy work today. It's just a hot mess of a day. So when I get days like this and I see this stuff, I just stay home. Maybe have a drink. I love to watch Phantom of the Opera and pretend that I am in the opera and sing out the Phantom of the Opera. Like anything to avoid actually interacting with people, because for me, it's not going to go well. Yeah, I don't even think I could get away with even doing what I normally do. That's my coping method, is pretending like I'm in a movie and just watching a movie and just getting lost in it, because your mind is going to be at play, the deepest parts of yourself. When I think of a moon in Scorpio, I want to look and see where Pluto's at. Because, okay, so like say there's all this opposition, right? So we've got all this intensity. So I want to know what Pluto's up to. Pluto is all kinds of pissed off. Mars and Pluto both rule Scorpio, right? And they're pissed. They're fighting right now. It's a duel. They're up there and they're like, yeah, you think you've got the power? No, I've got more power. And they're up there, they're having this big standoff in the sky, and they've got all their troops up there, and they're saying, you know what, I'm the bigger dog. So you've got Mars and Gemini, right, in the power of the mind and thinking, and in the power of, wanting to lash out in words and lash out, in a way that they gain power through, actually probably making people feel bad about themselves. That's how they're gaining their power. And then you've got Pluto up there opposing Mars, saying, you know what, that doesn't create stability. You know what, I'm sick of your flakiness. Like, let's get down. You need to ground your feet. You need to keep them on the ground. Like, enough of your horse shit. Like, let's make today count. Every day needs to be a step of progression up a ladder. And you know what? You can't even freaking focus on the long haul. You can't even focus on today. I'm sick and tired of it. Let's get it together. And these two are going at it. So it's like they're brawling. They're like brothers that just can't sit next to each other on a couch because they touch each other and then they just want to, get down and wrestle like my kids did every freaking day. So another thing that Pluto is having a problem with is, of course, it's still opposing Jupiter in Leo, and it has been since April. And so right now with Jupiter in this mood, when it's opposing Leo, you're talking about ego-based reactions. Okay, you're talking about pride. You're talking about all of the things that make you a person, right? In quincunx with Pluto, with the planet that rules your personal power, right? So there's all kinds of wanting to stand up for yourself and take control over this situation. So if something sets you off today, if a conversation that you get into with something actually threatens your personal power, you're going to lash out, and you're going to lash out with venom, and it's going to be an absolute brutal conversation. It's going to be pride-based, it's going to be ego-based, and it is going to be one hot mess, let me guarantee that. And I think this could have something to do with either a home and family situation. It could have to do in your partnerships. It could have definitely probably over some sort of money situation. Maybe having to do, all these situations could be activated by money. Maybe you found out, that you thought they were paying a bill that they didn't pay. And so that really pissed you off because that was your agreement. And, they didn't live up to their agreement. So it could be something like that just sets off a cascade of events that just ignites a hellstorm, like honest to God. And then, Neptune in Pisces is going to be squaring Mercury in Gemini. It's going to be squaring the Sun in Gemini, and it's going to be squaring Mars in Gemini. So there's no sugarcoating this issue. There's no getting around it. Like, it is what it is, and you're going to call it like you see it. think about all of these planets. Think about all these planets up there in absolute either opposition or flat out quincunx. Okay, yes, Neptune's in squares, but quincunxes are all up and down this thing. Like, think about it. The moon in Scorpio is going to be quincunxing the sun, Mercury, and your North Node in Libra. It's going to be Pluto's going to be quincunxing Mars and Jupiter. There is a lot of pissed off energy, a lot of absolute. Think about when Jupiter that expands everything it touches, and then Leo, which is this ego-based, bigger than the jungle type attitude, is quincunxing your darkest areas, your secrets, your lies, the parts of you that you don't let anybody see. Your crap is coming out, baby. If you've been hiding something, you're not hiding it anymore. If somebody's been hiding something from you, all hell is going to break loose today. If you have a secret that you've been keeping from somebody, and it's something that's going to take away somebody else's personal power, something that you shouldn't be doing, that you know you shouldn't be doing, holy hell, guess what? The cat's going to come out of the bag today, and you are going to be up poop creek, and let me tell you that. So you better prepare for this. I hope you guys are watching these a week in advance, because today's a day where you batten the hatches. Today's a day where you see the hurricane coming, and you run out and you put if you're smart, you're not going to be those idiots that run out there and go, wow, I want to be in the middle of a storm, like me. And run out there in the middle of the storm and say, I want to be in the middle of it, and I want to get the full experience of this storm. And so you just, sit out there like an idiot in it. Like, hopefully, you've watched this, and so on Friday, you've already battened down the hatches when you were feeling okay, and you've already, thought about everything, and so you put all the boards up over the windows, and you've got movies, and you've got popcorn and if the power goes out, you've got some resources, because all hell is going to break loose today on the 30th. I see this as a very highly energized day, and it's volatile. It can go either way. I mean, quincunxes are just such serious oppositions. There's no balancing out today. Your North Node in Libra wants to balance out and ascend, and it wants to look at this and think, okay, I know that this is just a growing experience, so let's look at it that way and rationalize it. There's that can't even happen, because it's in a freaking quincunx with your moon in Scorpio. Scorpio energy is intense. I personally hate moons in Scorpio. Well, I love to date them because they're so intense and delicious. But I don't like when they impact my life. I want to talk about this watery moon, because it's an intense watery moon. And when a moon gets like this, and it's the dark side of the moon, guys. It's not the light. It's not I guess you could call it the darkest secrets, the darkest aspects of your life, the things that people have been keeping from you, the masks that people have been wearing, the illusion that people have been trying, that gets at night. The moon comes out and it illuminates that darkness, and you see who they are without their masks. You see what intense situations are in your life. You become aware of your weaknesses, of their weaknesses, with Cancer and Venus. Venus and Cancer, when it is in a quincunx with Jupiter and Leo, this is something that's going to hit home. It's going to strike home. It's going to expand the family crisis. It could be a family crisis. It could be a romantic relationship that you kind of just were thinking about, but maybe you're like, I don't think I can do it, because it expanded the problem in there. It could be a financial situation where you thought that you had a partner that was going to be an equal partner, and you're going to figure out, hey, I have to support that partner, and I don't want to freaking do that, because you know what? I'm done enabling people. I want to be my own energy, taking care of my own self. Beware of today. Just do. Do I see a trine? I see no sextiles. I see one trine. The moon in Scorpio is going to trine Neptune and Pisces. I think what could happen today is that you just hit overload. You remember how I was talking about yesterday with your tea kettle, and it's just about ready to blow today, it blew. And so the moon in Scorpio, this watery energy, is going to combine with Neptune and Pisces, which is another watery energy, and it's going to retreat. It's going to freaking lose its lid. It's going to lash out, and then it's going to freaking want to hide. It's going to want to get away from all of this. It's going to want to just think of something else that could possibly help you survive this situation. I wish you well today. I don't even know what to say. I hate stuff love you. Good luck with the day, and I'll talk to you again tomorrow. And you know what? I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm just an idiot wrong. I read all this energy wrong, and I don't even know what I'm talking about. Let's hope for that. You know, I say, hey, that's the positive spin I can throw on this. Let's hope I'm friggin' dead wrong. I'll talk to you tomorrow, guys.